So keep it simple. And here is a lot of the confusion I have seen. You have to distinguish between system, processes, elements, and tools. Let me just explain. Do you remember this? How many of you have seen it more than twice? Well, that's what you see now. That's a repetitive thing. And believe me, do your own circle. If you take this one or you make your own, but it's a communication tool that you can actually talk to people and say, now, this is the area we work in. Remember that. That's so we can do this better, and it has to do that because it's a communication tool as I see it. Now, okay, this is what we call the system. Tools, what are those? Well, I would say computer system support. The computer system is a tool, right? You will never be successful implementing a CMMS, computerized maintenance management system, by starting from the system and forcing that through. You need to fix the processes people work in. And I can tell you, any of these good computer systems on the market can do what you want them to do. They can. There are some few exceptions, like typical, many of the bigger systems can't do a route-based PM route. They all say they can, but I can tell you they can't. They do it in a work order, and you create an absolute disaster if you would like to optimize maintenance, right? So you have one mechanical route, one electrical route, one lubrication route, and then all the operators are going to do this, and you can't connect all of it. You need to have a system where you can say, on that equipment number, this is all the PMs we do, and these are the different categories and frequency we do, and then the system spreads that. Actually, I think IFS can do that. And you have a route-based system, I know that. SAP doesn't, Maximo doesn't, you might have some others, but it goes from almost all these systems that they say, well, we fix it, but it'd be a nightmare to change. It is a tool, though, right? A very important tool. SMED, how many of you know what that is? If you've been in manufacturing industry, it's very common. Single minute exchange of dies. Well, it means that they actually, it's very much in machine tool manufacturing. You know, just to change the setup of a machine can take a couple of hours, but the goal is to get it down to less than 9 minutes, single minute exchange of dies. So they start looking at how can they change this faster and modify and so forth. And it's an excellent concept to use on common repetitive jobs and during a shutdown, the critical jobs. Excellent method to use. I will show you some examples later. But it's a tool. As RCM, I think if you start with RCM, you never get through it, so be prepared for that. It's just one of these things that another three-letter acronym sounds great, right? Sounds great. Engineers used to love it, especially if you don't have experience from maintenance, because it tells you A, B, C, D, and you do this huge analysis to find out we need to check the V-belt. Yeah. And in fact, I work with a big company. It's a utility company right now. And a good friend I have there, I met him there, and he said, you know, in our paper mill, we spent 10 people, 4 years each, 40 years to do RCM. Because the system requested that. I said, okay, Rob, what changed? We did some minor changes because we had forgotten some equipment in the basic inspections. And that's what you often see. It has a place, right? But it's not the program, it's a tool. And if you could get the manufacturers of plants, or manufacturers of equipment to do that analysis before they designed it, you would see something. And it has a place where you have very complex pieces of equipment where you need to figure out both function and failure modes and other things to analyze it. But it still comes down to components that